Hello and welcome back to our Spring Boot tutorial series. In today's video, we'll be diving into using Postman to test our Spring Boot APIs. Postman is a powerful tool for testing and developing APIs, and it's essential for any developer working with RESTful services. Up until now, we've been comfortably using our browsers to interact with APIs, right? Simple and straightforward. But as we dive deeper into our RESTful services tutorial, things get a bit more complex. So far, we've focused on GET requests. Those are the ones browsers handle without breaking a sweat. But what about when we want to create, update, or delete data? That's where POST, PUT, and delete methods come into play. Now, you might wonder, why can't I just stick with my browser for these? Well, browsers are great for basic tasks, but they're not equipped to handle these more complex operations directly from the URL bar. This is exactly why we need a more powerful tool to test our APIs thoroughly. First things first, let's get our essential toolkit ready. We're going to download and install Postman, a powerful tool that's going to turbocharge our API testing capabilities. Why Postman, you ask? Well, it's user-friendly, packed with features, and best of all, it lets us easily send different types of HTTP requests, not just GET. So, go ahead and open your web browser. Alright, now that we're ready to level up our API testing, let's find Postman. Just type Postman into your search bar. Great! Now, if you look at your search results, you'll see the first link right at the top, www.postman.com. This will take us directly to the official Postman website, where we can safely download the latest version of the tool. On the Postman website, simply select the download option for your operating system and click Download. And wait for the download to complete. Once the download is complete, go ahead and open your Downloads folder. Now, find the Postman file in your Downloads folder. Right-click on it and select Extract. Now, just wait for the extraction to complete. Great! Once the extraction is complete, open the newly created folder. Right-click on Postman and select Run, if you're on Linux. Awesome! Now, let's dive in and understand how to use Postman. Ready to explore its powerful features? As we covered earlier in this tutorial series, we already created a greeting service REST API. We'll use this greeting service to demonstrate how to use Postman. As you see highlighted on the screen, here you can select the HTTP method for your REST API, such as GET, POST, PUT, etc. As you can see on the screen, our greeting API is of GET type. So, let's select GET in Postman to match our greeting API. As you see highlighted on the screen in Postman, there's a box where you can type your REST API URL. This is where we'll enter the endpoint for our greeting API. Now, let's enter our greeting URL into Postman. Type localhost 8080/greeting in the URL box. This tells Postman exactly where to find our greeting API. As you can see, there's an option to add query parameters, authorization, and headers. However, our greeting service doesn't require any of these parameters, so we can skip this step for now. We'll dive into these in a separate video. In the header section, you'll see that Postman automatically adds some default headers. These headers help provide additional information about the request, such as content type and user agent. While we won't need to modify these for our greeting service, understanding headers is important for more complex API interactions, which we'll cover in future videos. Now, let's switch to IntelliJ and start our application. This will get our greeting service up and running so we can test it with Postman. Great! Our application is now up and running. Let's switch back to Postman. Now, go ahead and click the Send button in Postman. When you click the Send button in Postman, it will send a request to our greeting API. Let's see what response we get. As we see on the screen, we received the Hello response as expected. As we saw on the right side in the response, we received a status code and status message, 200 OK. In the response, we also received headers. These headers provide additional details about the response, such as the content type, which tells us the format of the data, and server information, which can give us insights into the server handling our request. And that's a quick overview of using Postman to test your Spring Boot APIs. It's a very powerful tool that can save you a lot of time and effort in testing and debugging your applications. Remember to explore the other features of Postman, such as creating environments, writing tests, and automating your workflows with collections and monitors. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tutorials. See you next time.